Have you ever stopped to think about how you think? You make a snap judgment in 1 second, then spend minutes wrestling with a tough problem the next. What's going on in there? Well, today we are diving deep into Daniel Kahneman's incredible work to meet the two main characters who are basically running the show inside your head. Okay, just take a look at these two things. On the left, you see the woman's face. You didn't have to try to figure out her emotion. You just knew instantly that she's angry. It was fast, automatic, completely effortless. Now look to the right, 17 times 24. You know it's a multiplication problem, but you don't instantly know the answer, right? To get to 408, which is the answer by the way, you have to actually stop and do some mental work. That's slow thinking. These two things side by side are the perfect example of the two very different ways our minds work.
All right, so let's properly meet the first character in our mental story. This is the one behind all that fast, automatic, intuitive stuff. You could call it the impulsive hero of our minds. It's doing most of the work, even when we don't realize it.
And here's the official definition, which really nails it. System 1 is running automatically all the time. It's the silent workhorse in the background, generating all these impressions, intuitions, and feelings without you lifting a finger. It's that gut feeling that just knows. And you can see it in action everywhere. I mean, think about it. You don't decide to detect that someone's voice sounds hostile. You don't have to try to answer 2 plus 2. If I say bread end, your brain just serves up butter. And if you're an experienced driver on an open road, it feels like you're on the autopilot. All of that's System 1, constantly and effortlessly making sense of your world.
Kahneman himself calls System 1 the hero of the story. And I love this part. It's the secret author of so much of what we do. It's like the ghostwriter for our conscious mind, scripting our reactions and choices way more than we'd probably like to believe.
Okay, on to our second character. This is the one we tend to identify with, our conscious, rational, decision-making self. This is the me that we think is in charge. But is it really?
System 2 is all about one thing, paying attention. Its job is to handle the effortful stuff. Anything that requires focus and concentration, that's where you'll find System 2. When you decide to really zero in on something, you are consciously firing up System 2.
And yeah, every single one of these things requires real effort. You have to pay attention to pick out a single voice in a loud room. You have to actively monitor yourself when you're in a tricky social situation. Filling out a tax form, parking in a super tight spot. These are the moments when System 2 has to get off the bench and do the heavy lifting. If you get distracted, you're going to mess up. But here's the funny thing about our supposed hero, System 2. It's kind of lazy. It has a very limited budget of attention, and frankly, it doesn't like to spend it. So most of the time, what does it do? It just goes along with whatever story or suggestion System 1 offers up. It takes the path of least resistance. And that's exactly how System 1's quick and sometimes biased assumptions become our conscious beliefs. Okay, so this leads to a really obvious question, right? If we have these two different agents in our mind, where are they? Like, which part of the brain is System 1 and which part is System 2?
And now, we've arrived at what is probably the single most important point of this entire explainer. The truth about these two characters is not what you might think.
And those aren't my words. Those are directly from Daniel Kahneman. He's emphatic about this. The huge critical takeaway is this. System 1 and System 2 are not real. They are not little people running around inside your skull.
What they are, in essence, are useful fictions. They're metaphors. Think of it like a play, a psychodrama with two main characters, designed to make the messy, complicated inner workings of our minds a whole lot easier to talk about and understand.
So let's be crystal clear here. There is no System 1 area of your brain. There's no System 2 network of neurons. When we say System 1 did this, it's just shorthand. It's a quick way of saying this particular mental process happened automatically and really fast. It's a description, not a biological blueprint. So if they aren't real, then why bother? Why create this whole drama with these two characters? Well, because as it turns out, telling a story about them is an incredibly powerful and effective way to understand ourselves. And here's why it works so beautifully. Our brains are just naturally hardwired to understand the world through stories about characters. It's so much easier for us to grasp the idea of a lazy System 2 than it is to talk about the effortful mental processes that show a reluctance to engage. We instinctively give them personalities, and that makes the whole concept stick. I mean, just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got the technically correct but, clunky terms, and on the right,
simple, memorable nicknames. And there's a really fascinating and practical reason why those nicknames are actually way better for our brains.
This is just a brilliant insight, isn't it? Anything that takes up space in your working memory literally reduces your ability to think about other things. So by using simple nicknames like System 1 and System 2, we are literally freeing up mental bandwidth. It makes it easier for us to think about thinking. It's an amazing brain-friendly hack.
So there you have it, the impulsive, automatic hero and the lazy but capable controller. They might be fictional characters, but understanding them gives you an incredibly powerful toolkit for understanding the very real choices you make every single day. So the only real question left is, for your next decision, who are you going to let take the wheel?